The Wind and the Sun. High above the world, where the clouds drift like fluffy sheep, the north wind and the sun watched the people below. The north wind was a great boaster. "I am the strongest being in the world," he roared, his voice shaking the leaves on the distant trees. "When I blow, great ships tremble, and tall oaks bow before me. Nothing can stand against my might." The sun, who was polishing a golden ray of light, simply smiled. Her light was warm and steady. "Brute force is not the only kind of strength, my friend," she said, in a voice as soft as a summer morning. "There is a quiet power in gentleness." "Nonsense," blustered the wind, puffing out his cheeks. "Strength is about power. I am stronger than you." "Are you so sure?" the sun replied calmly. Just then they looked down and saw a lone traveler walking along a long, winding road. He was an old man, leaning on a wooden staff, and he was wrapped in a thick, woollen shawl to keep out the chill of the morning. A clever idea sparked in the sun's warm glow. "Let us have a contest," she proposed. "Let us see which of us can make that traveler take off his shawl. Whichever one of us succeeds shall be declared the stronger." "An easy challenge," howled the wind with glee. "I will go first. Watch me tear that shawl from his shoulders in a single breath." The sun nodded and slipped behind a soft white cloud to watch. The north wind took a deep, deep breath, gathering all his power. Then he let it out in a mighty blast. Whoosh! He roared down the mountainside and across the plain. He whipped up dust from the road, making the traveler squint and turn his face away. He rattled the branches of the trees until they sounded like chattering teeth. The world grew cold and gray under his assault. The traveler shivered and pulled his woolen shawl tighter around his body. "My, what a sudden and fierce wind!" he mumbled, leaning into the gale and pulling the edges of the shawl close under his chin. This only made the north wind angrier. He blew harder, a furious, icy gale. He howled like a wolf and pushed against the man with all his might. But the harder the wind blew, the more the traveler struggled to keep his shawl wrapped around his body. He wrapped it over his head and held it shut with both his hands. The shawl became his shield against the wind's fury. Finally, exhausted and out of breath, the north wind gave up. He had thrown his full power at the man, and the shawl was still on. Panting, he retreated into the sky. Now it was the sun's turn. She slowly peeked out from behind her cloud. She did not roar or blast. Instead, she simply smiled. A gentle, warm light began to spread over the land. The gray chill in the air vanished. The traveler felt the soft warmth on his back and sighed in relief. He lowered the shawl from his head. The sun's smile grew a little wider, and her rays became warmer and brighter. The little birds who had been hiding from the wind came out and began to sing. The traveler felt the pleasant heat seep into his old bones. He smiled and let his shawl fall open. The sun continued to shine, her light growing steadily from warm to hot. Soon the traveler began to feel too warm. He wiped a bead of sweat from his forehead. The thick woolen shawl that had been his comfort was now a heavy burden. Without another thought, the traveler stopped, unwrapped the shawl completely, folded it neatly over his arm, and continued on his way, enjoying the beautiful sunny day. High above, the sun beamed, her light full of gentle victory. The north wind watched, silent and humbled. "You see," said the sun, her voice kind, "sometimes a little warmth and gentleness can achieve what all the force in the world cannot. True strength is not always about how hard you can push, but about knowing the kindest way to win."